you ever feel unheard, not really listened to? People make the right noises. They seem to be listening, but nothing ever happens. Nothing really changes. If that's you, welcome to this episode of The Unburdened Woman, where we'll be talking about feeling listened to, heard, understood, or not, why it happens, and what you can do about it. For many women, we carry a load, a mental load, an emotional load, a physical load. We are the family organisers. Most of the time, we don't even need one of those planners on the fridge. We just know. We know who needs to be where and when. We know what days the bins need to be put out. We know who has doctor's appointments and dentist appointments coming up. And we don't know this because we want to know it. We know this because it's kind of expected of us. It's an expectation that's been put on us by society, by family. And everything would fall apart if we fell apart. Maybe you're the one who also has to call out the repairman when the boiler goes wrong, or replace the TV when it stops working. And you've asked others in the family to help out. You might even have sat down with them and agreed a list of chores. And still they don't do it. Oh, they've agreed that they will do this or that. Wash the dishes, empty the dishwasher, put the rubbish out. But then it never happens. And you're the one that ends up doing it again. They forget to bring their PE kit to school, or they leave their keys at home, or their papers for the presentation they were giving at work. And they expect you to drop everything you're doing and just take it to them like you're some unpaid courier. And for years I did this. And then I realized that it was wearing me out. Why was I remembering teenagers' homework submission dates? Husband's dental appointments. He was a grown adult. He managed his own work calendar perfectly well, so he could manage his own health and social calendar. So I stopped doing it. And I started doing what we called an emergency call for the family. So they were allowed one emergency each half term while they were at school. They could call me once to get me to bring something, whether it was their lunch, their violin for violin practice, for violin lesson, their forgotten PE kit, the homework they'd left on the dining room table. Once per half term, I would drop everything and go and take it to them. And once they'd used that one, there wasn't another opportunity. That was it. And that sounds really harsh, and it felt horrible to do at first. But here's the thing. it freed me up. I didn't have to wait around to be called. If I spotted something, their homework on the dining room table or their PE kit still languishing in the hall, I would have been worrying about when that call was going to come. Now I knew it probably wasn't, because they only had one call to make in 6 weeks. So they were going to choose very, very carefully what that call was going to be. And it also taught them to take their own belongings with them, to take care of their own belongings, to look after themselves, to take responsibility for themselves, and not leave that physical and mental and attached emotional load to me. And I did the same with household chores. They stripped their beds once a week. The bed linen got shoved in the washing machine, and I took it out, dried it, put it back in the airing cupboard. I left new bed linen on their beds. Now, if they chose not to strip their bed before they left on a Monday morning for school, work, or wherever they were going, that was their choice. Very simple little things. But what I'm showing them in these things is that I am not there to take responsibility for their lives, for their planning, that they need to step up. When we lay down expectations, when we allow people to expect things of us, they're going to keep expecting that. And sure, they don't like it when you change the rules. Of course they don't. And it feels very uncomfortable for you too when you change the rules. But when you stick with it, you find that everything's much more peaceful, much more smooth flowing. When we can all take responsibility for our own things. When everybody in the household, the adults, are stepping up and being adults, it allows us more time to be who we actually are, to pursue the things we want to do, to breathe, to just have moments of downtime. Moments when you're not chasing around in your brain wondering what you've forgotten today or what needs doing, because your list gets exponentially shorter. This is the work that I help women with, identifying where they're carrying too much of that load and how they can gently put it down in a way that works for them and doesn't bring up guilt or shame. Because most of the women I work with have been brought up to serve others and not themselves.